Alright guys, got some combat gonna happen. I thought I do a little video on it. Let's see if I can move this up and zoom in. There we go. So I put together a little scenario for myself that I've been playing, where I have the 2nd Panzer trying to take Bastogne along with the 26th Division. And here's our attacks that are happening. I already did fire support, that's done with. So we're gonna come in and do some PA attacks. So we have the 506 Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division sitting in rough terrain in IP. And then we have these two stacks that will be attacking. So let's see what we have. We have 7, 8 is 15, and 12 is 27. So we have 27 there, and then we have 4, 16, 28. Put that back. So when I say 28, and I just miscounted. So 28, let's do it this way. 28, 36, 43, 55. So it's 55 actually. So we got 55 to 6. And that is going to put us at 9 to 1. So it's going to be all the way at the max chart. So let's see now. Next is going to be combat shifts. Let's see what the combat shifts are going to be. So you guys can take a look at it, because I'm using 2012 rules. So we have here prepared assault. It's going to give us 1. None of these count. It's a night turn, so it's 1 shift, so those 2 canceled. Then defender is in approved position, that's 1 additional. And they have an adjacent defender. Actually, no. The reason why this won't count is this unit here, or this stack, is in movement covered terrain, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Here's forest. So forest is movement covered terrain. So if this was rough or clear, this unit would be able to give a shift to this defender. But since it is not, it cannot help. So there's no shift to help them out. So going back to this again. So it's just the improved position, night and improved position. Leader, we're gonna add a leader in. So we'll mark off a leader. This leader can give a shift back. And we also have engineers. So the engineer will negate field work. So we have an engineer in that stack. That will negate this IP. So basically there is no column shifts at all. Next up is your M's, dice modifiers. The Allies have combat reserve, so it must be within 3 hex of the defending unit. So the only one it's going to be is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So these two can give support. Each one is +5 dice modifier. However, I have other attacks here. And this one's important here. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to give 1 from there. So as soon as you use it, you remove this off. And they're going to get a -5 for the dice roll. So the Allies get a -5 so far. Regiment integrity, which is called RIB. So let's zoom in a little bit more. This unit here is a 506 regiment. It has another 506 regiment behind it, so a defender can pull regimental integrity as long as they're adjacent to their other regiments that belong to the same regiment. So they're going to get -10. However, the Germans, they have, let's see here. So we have Koch, so it's 1, 2, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we have 25, and they had 10, so it's a +15. And then they had a -5 from before, so it's actually going to be a +10 now to the Germans. So it's in our favor. Next is armor. So they're setting in, again, rough. And what happens is certain terrains dilute or mitigate armor factors. So if we use, let's say, this unit here, they have an armor factor of 6. That little subscript up there, that's the armor factor. So they have a 6 going in. IP and terrain mitigate that because this unit doesn't have an AT factor or armor factor to mitigate whatever it's coming in, so we have to look at the terrain chart. And what we do is, let's see here. Again, we're in rough. So rough right here says you get a -1. And then we have improved position. And our improved position is another -1. So it's a -2. So you take those two numbers, you take -2 from the 6. And what happens is then the Germans will bring in 4 armor factors going in. Each armor factor is worth 10 points. If it was clear terrain, it would have been worth 15. So we had +10. We have another 4 going in, each one worth 10 points, that's +40. So altogether +50 to the dice roll. It doesn't look good for these guys. And we're sitting all the way at the last column, which is over here. So it's the farthest last column. We'll roll. This is the Germans rolling, and this will be the Allies. And let's see. We have +50 to the roll. So the Germans rolled 57, which is 107. As you can see here, it's a 3 discretionary, 3 mandatory. And now in the 2012 rules, the first rules that came with Wacht on Rhein, there is a maximum step loss that you have in the system, meaning that a unit can only take 1 step loss and then it must do other things. However, if you're on the last column, either all the way to the right or all the way to the left, maximum step loss doesn't exist anymore. You must now take all these step losses. So this unit basically is going to be destroyed. That's the penalty for being pretty much overrun. So this unit will be lost. However, they get to roll. Let's see what their roll is going to be. 39 plus 50 is 89. And 89 on the chart is going to be no effect. So the Germans were able to take that hex and move up and just pick away and chip away at them. So we'll bring this up, we'll bring these guys up. And we'll hold here. I'll make a note that 3 steps were lost. 1, 2, 3. So that was 3 infantry steps that were lost. And that is how that combat went.